Hi, folks. How's it going? Happy Friday. Hope everybody's had a good week. And nobody's in here right now, and I fully expect that. Millis Vanillis Tractor Life has not streamed in a while, but that's okay because I'm streaming now. And let me just give this camera lens a little wipey wipe here. Uh, get the smudge off of it so that we'll be in focus better. Now nobody's watching right now, and that's okay. Nobody really watches my videos anyway, but I don't care. This video is different, and well, let's see. This is going to be a different video. You know, we haven't posted any lawn tractor stuff in a while, but that's okay because we're going to have some fun tonight, folks. And as soon as we get some watchers in here, we're going to have a fun little game. Now, this was a random brainchild thing. My friends, Pigskin Pete and Rec Talk, have decided that betting on football is strictly a game of chance. And it is. Any kind of gambling is a game of chance rather than skill. So Pigskin Pete has decided to go against the coin, a flip of the coin. So he's picking games for this season against the coin. And it's all done on Rec Talk's channel. Shout out to Pigskin Pete and shout out to Rec Talk. You guys are amazing. I think it's a fantastic idea. And Rec Talk made a video posting the coin flip versus Pigskin Pete the other day on his channel. I watched the video and I was inspired. You guys are geniuses, and I think you have something. But there's one thing missing. Um, which coin is the better pick? Which of these coins, this is American money. It's not any kind of crazy foreign currency. There's nothing wrong with that, but for the sake of this, we're going to use American coins, American currency, and there's basically four different American USA coins. We have the quarter, which is worth 25 cents or 1/4 of a dollar. And just to tell you folks, this is ordinary coins. There's nothing special about these here coins. It's a regular, ordinary quarter. It's not rigged. It's not double-headed. Right out of the change jar. I promise you. And then we're going to put Mr. Quarter against the nickel. This is a regular, normal American nickel. It's worth 5 cents. And 20 of these makes $1. And we're going to put those two guys against the ordinary dime. This is an ordinary American dime. It weighs as much as 10 cents. And there's nothing special about it. It's not bent. It's not modified in any way. Now, you just have to take my word for it, okay? And then finally, we have our lowly little insignificant penny. This little fella right here has Abe Lincoln on the head side, and it has a badge and shield on the other side, and it's the least value of these four coins. Now I know you're going to say there's other coins, the $50, the dollar, the Susan B. Anthony, blah blah blah. For the sake of this, we're not going to worry about those. We're just going to use the four main characters in the American currency cycle. So, and then we have an ordinary cup, aluminum cup. It's kind of a koozie. It's not modified in any way. It has a little ding on the bottom. That's a little ding that you see there. And so here's how it works. We're going to play a little game with these coins. The coins will go in the cup. Kind of loud. Sorry about that. You're going to put these 4 coins in the cup. Now, I guarantee you, I give you my word, I have not modified the coins or the cup in any way. Straight change jar, change. You probably have a bunch of it sitting around your house right now. All right. So I went on the ESPN site and I pulled up some games. There's 8 games on this piece of paper, and I have 8 college football games here. This is college football. We're not doing NFL because nobody gives a shit about NFL, and well, at least not for the sake of this. We're just not doing NFL. That would be someone else would have to do that. I can't. I have no interest in doing it for NFL. Strictly college football and that. And so we have. Let me see if I can show you this. We have each team versus. Away teams are at the top, home teams are at the bottom. Away teams are at the top, home teams are at the bottom on every one of these, okay? And we have our quarter, we have our nickel, we have our quarter, we have our dime, we have our nickel, we have our penny. So what I'm going to do is on each game, I'm going to shake the cup. I'm going to flip it upside down on the desk. And some of the coins are going to land on heads. Some of the coins are going to land on tails. Okay? So the heads will be home. H for head, H for home team. Every coin that lands on heads will get a check mark in the home team slot. Okay? Every coin that lands on tails will get a check mark in the away team slot. And we're just going to go down the list. We're going to shake the bucket. And whatever lands will get either marked heads or tails, home team or away team. So basically, all of the tails will be picking the away team to either win or cover. Now, it can get quite complicated when you start talking about spreads and that, or over and unders, things like that. We're not betting on all this. We are simply betting on wins and losses only. You understand? Each coin is either going to pick the home team to win or pick the away team to win the game. We don't give a shit about spreads. We don't give a shit about anything except wins or losses. Okay? Now, I know some of these are going to be crazy picks. If these coins are intelligent, these coins know more than you think they know. So that's basically how it's going to work. We're going to take each game. We're not going to talk about it a whole lot unless somebody wants to join in on the stream. And I will share this link with you guys. And I will share the link so that someone will have an opportunity to come in and help me do this if they want. If any of you guys want to come in, there's the yard stream link for you. And feel free to come on in the house and talk about this. Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? Does anybody give a shit? And I'm going to give it a few minutes because I know that people are watching other shows, VicTube, and some of the other shows are on right now, so I'm kind of slot stealing. I'm sorry about that. But I wanted a chance to do this before the games start tomorrow. And I see that I do have 2 watchers here, and hopefully they'll help spread the word. And this might be fun, y'all. I think this could be pretty fun if there's enough interest in it. Because personally, I'm betting on the penny. I'm I'm an underdog kind of a guy, and I think the penny is probably going to be, over the season, the most accurate picker. But we're going to find out. We're going to find out because it's quarter versus dime versus penny versus nickel. I'm going to try to do this every week. I'm not exactly sure what day I will be able to stream on, but I may make it a premiere. I may go ahead and do this and make it a premiere as opposed to a live stream. I would like some feedback if you watch this video. If you think it's a good idea, let me know. If you think I should change some things, let me know. If you think it's dumb, also let me know. I'll take your comments, good, bad, or ugly. But I think it's brilliant. I mean, I didn't entirely think of it. It's the brainchild of Pete and Rectal. If you go on the midday show on Pigskin Pete's second channel, you can hear us talking about it. I'm simply expanding on that thing that they're doing with Pete versus the coin. Because Pete may lose to a quarter, but if the quarter is the smartest coin, then anybody would lose, correct? If Pete wins against the quarter, maybe he don't win against the dime or the nickel. And yes, I'm smoking on StreamYard. That's okay because I smoke. And it's my StreamYard, and I can smoke if I want. You're lucky I'm even closed right now. So let's do a few practice shakes. I can move my camera down a bit so you guys can maybe catch the coins. There we are. There's the coins. But I don't know if I can make it stay there in that. I'm sorry. I'm working with my tripod to try to get the coins in view. I don't think it's going to happen. You guys are just going to have to take my word for it, okay? So on this spin, the dime landed on tails. The penny landed on tails. The nickel landed on heads. And the quarter landed on tails as well. So we have 3 tails and a head. Let's put them back in here. Shake them up. And try again. We'll sort of warm up the coins a little bit that way. You got to get the coins warm, right? I'm going to warm these coins up, shake them around, humble them a good bit, and then now let's see who landed where. Up, the quarter landed on heads. The penny landed on tails. The dime landed on heads. Oops, sorry, I didn't show that proper. And then the nickel landed on tails. So we have a 2 and 2 on that shake. Let's do it again. These are practice swings. We're just shaking the coins up to see what we get. I hope that's not too loud. I can switch to a plastic cup if I need to. I would love to have some feedback from you guys. If anybody wants to comment, is the metal cup too loud? Should we switch to a wooden cup or a plastic cup? All right, here we go. All right, the dime landed on heads. The quarter landed on heads. The nickel landed on tails. I'm trying to get that where you can see it good. Hard to do with my lighting in here, but it's tails. And the penny also landed on heads. So again, we have that one outlier coin who's picking against the other 3. Now, I have people coming in and out. I would like for someone to click the link and come into the StreamYard. And if you want to, this may not work. I'm not the most proficient YouTuber, especially, with the college football. Lawnmower channel, I get it. But this is just something I'm doing for fun. It'd be great if some lawnmower people would come in here and try to help me pick games. Where you at, Dobie? Where you at, sir? Not going to spend a whole lot of time doing this. I don't have a lot of time. I've already been on 16 minutes, and I know it's going to take a few minutes for people to even see this. But we'll wait a few minutes and see if anybody's interested. Link is in the StreamYard link is up in the comments, and so let's do another practice spin, shall we? Let's see who did what. Okay. Penny landed on heads. Dime landed on tails. Nickel, tails. Quarter, tails. That's 2 times where the penny has picked against the other coins. I don't know what's going on in this cup, but somebody's picking against the other ones. None of the coins have all landed on the same thing yet. Let's go again. Quarter, tails. Nickel, tails. Penny, tails. Dime, tails. That's the first time that's happened. Quarter, heads. Nickel, tails. Penny, heads. Dime, heads. I'm really trying to figure out how to make it focus on it, But you're just going to have to take my word for it. I'm not making this up. I'm not influencing the coins in any way. Pinky swear, Scout's honor. All right. Let's run down the list of games for this week. The week 4, Texas Tech at Utah. UAB at Tennessee. Let's flip them where you can see them. Oregon State at Oregon. Kent State at Florida State. Auburn at Oklahoma. Tulane at Ole Miss. Michigan at Nebraska. Purdue at Notre Dame. Temple at GT or Georgia Tech. South Carolina at Mizzou. Illinois at Indiana. That's 8 games. Here's 8 more. We have wait, I already did Temple at GT. What's wrong with me? I already did. So hold on. I already did that one. South Carolina, Mizzou, Illinois, Indiana. Okay, so we have 5 more games. My bad. I'm new at this. Bear with me. Florida at Miami. Georgia State at Vandy. Southeast Louisiana at LSU. Sam Houston at Texas. And Michigan State at USC, Southern Cal. University of Southern California. Those are the games we're going to pick. And I'm going to give it about 5 more minutes. It's 20 minutes. I'm going to go 25 minutes. And then I'm going to start doing it for real. Some people may have something to say. I welcome that. Let me know if I'm doing this right. Let me know if I'm doing it wrong. But tell me something good or bad. I'm a grown man. I can take it. It's YouTube. It's not life. We'll give it about 5 more minutes. I've seen viewers coming and going. And I realize I need to do something with my lighting in here. The lighting, I have good light in here. It's just not adjusted to this. Maybe I need to move the camera. Maybe we do a side view or something. I don't know what that's like. Maybe go this way. Let's try it this way. I'm winging it here, y'all. Yeah, I kind of like that better. Let's try the coins. Let's see if the coins are more visible. Yeah, that might be actually a little bit better. I kind of like this view better, honestly. You can tell if that's tails. That's definitely tails. We're just practicing that. That is heads, although it's upside down. That's the nickel on heads. Learning how to manipulate these coins, so you guys can tell that's heads. Maybe I get closer. It kind of gets out of focus if I get too close. And then old Abraham the penny. That's heads on the penny. And that's tails on the penny. You can see the shield. So there we go. Now we got about 3 more minutes, and so we'll start flipping these and picking the games. Again, heads is the home game in each case. Tails will be the away team. We're only picking wins versus losses. We're not picking spreads. We're not picking over and unders. We're not picking anything except win or lose. Because the coins don't know or care about the spread or the home field advantage or injured players or bad coaching. The coins don't give a shit about any of that. The coins only care about who wins versus who loses. And that's how I want to play this game, is just strictly which coin is the most accurate. None of the coins are going to be, 16-0. But some of the coins will be closer than others. And I'm curious which coin is that guy. Which coin will be more accurate than the other coins in picking college football games? Because every time they do a coin toss at a game, it's always with a quarter or some special coin that they made just for that coin toss. And you and I don't have access to that. We have greater access to ordinary pocket change coins. So that's what we're going to use. And we got about another minute and we'll get going. We're 24:08 according to my timer here on the yard stream. And we'll get started here shortly and briefly and in a hurry soon. If you are watching this, or if you watch it in the replay, thank you. Shout out to the dozens of Millis fans who actually watch my content. I'm not here for likes and subs, and I definitely don't want your money. I'm just here to have a good time. And I thought this would be fun. If it's not, then I won't continue. I would appreciate a comment, either good or bad. Tell me I'm stupid. Tell me I'm doing it wrong. That sort of thing. All right, 25 minutes. Let's go. First game, Texas Tech versus Texas Tech at Utah. Now, heads is home team wins. Tails is away team wins. Here we go. Up and out. The dime says heads. So we put a check mark on Utah because the dime thinks the home team wins. Nickel also heads. Home team, nickel, check for the home team. Quarter, tails. The away team wins according to quarter. And lastly, penny is on heads. Penny thinks its home team wins. So, game one, Texas Tech at Utah. Quarter says Texas Tech. Everybody else says Utah. Let's go to the next game. The next game is UAB at Tennessee. Quarter, home. We'll check that. Put the quarterback in the box, in the cup. Nickel says away. So Nickel, you are going to predict UAB, and there's your check mark. Dime says away at UAB. Dime picked UAB. Penny chose Tennessee, the Baltards. So Penny, we will check you off on Tennessee. That's where we're at. Now I'm showing you exactly how I'm checking these as they come out so that nobody can say this is rigged. This is exactly how the coins have came out so far. All right, let's go to the next game. Next game is the Civil War. Oregon State at Oregon. Oregon State at Oregon. Who will win the game? Penny says heads, Oregon. So we will check Oregon under Penny. Quarter says heads, Oregon. Quarter gets a check mark under Oregon. Nickel says Oregon State Beavers. Nickel gets a check mark for Oregon State. And also Dime thinks the Beavers will take it this year. So we will check that for the Dime. Back in the cup we go. Next game, Kent State at Florida State. Now we all know Florida State's going to win this game, but what does Coin say? Do all of the coins agree? Let's just find out. Heads. Quarter says Florida State wins. Nickel say Florida State. Dime says Kent State. And Penny say Florida State. All right, we've checked that off and got that done. Next game, Auburn at Oklahoma. Let's go. And Dime says tails, Auburn. Dime. There we go. We'll check that off. Quarter says Oklahoma. Nickel says Oklahoma as well. And Penny says What Penny say? Penny says Oklahoma. All right, I got that done. We have our 3 versus 1 pick on that game. Now, Tulane versus Tulane at Ole Miss. Tulane at Ole Miss. Heads is home team wins. Tails is away team wins. That's it. All right. Quarter says home team, which is Ole Miss. All right. Penny, Ole Miss. Tails for the nickel. Tails, the nickel picks Tulane to win. And so does Dime. Dime picks Tulane to win. So that's a split. That's a 2-2 split. We'll see how that comes out because 2 of them are going to be right and 1 of them ain't. All right, here we go. Michigan versus Nebraska. Michigan at Nebraska. Michigan at Nebraska. What do we got? We got heads on the quarter. He says Nebraska wins. We got tails on the penny. Penny disagrees. Check Michigan. Nickel says Nebraska. So we will check Nebraska under nickel. And also, Dime says Nebraska. So everybody picked Nebraska except our friend Abraham Lincoln. So we'll see how that either one's going to be wrong or 3's going to be wrong. Purdue at Notre Dame. Purdue at Notre Dame. Nickel picks Purdue. Let's see. Nickel, Purdue. Penny also Purdue. Quarter says Purdue. And lastly, Dime says Notre Dame. Rudy. Dime picks Rudy. Next game, Temple at GT. Temple at Georgia Tech. All right. Dime picks GT. You guys see that? The Dime picked GT. Dime picks GT. Check. Nickel picks Temple. Nickel picks Temple for the upset. Penny also takes Temple for the upset. And Quarter says Temple will win. So that's another 3 against 1 pick right there. All right. And then we have South Carolina Shamecocks at Mizzou. Battle of the Columbias. Let's see how this goes. All right. The vote is in. Quarter says away team, South Carolina. Quarter has picked South Carolina to win. Dime has picked South Carolina to win. Nickel also picks the Shamecocks. And Penny, Shamecocks. Everybody picked South Carolina to win that game. That's the only time so far that all the coins have agreed. That might be interesting. That could be interesting. Next game is Illinois at Indiana. Illinois fighting Illinois at the Indiana Hoosiers or whatever the fuck they are. Let's check them up. All right, quarter picks Indiana at home. Dime, he also picked Indiana at home. Nickel says, fuck you, Illinois wins. And old Abe says Indiana. So Nickel went out on his own. That fills out the first sheet. This is the first 8 games of the coin versus coin college pick'em series. Okay? There's your first 8 games. You can pause it right there and look in closer and make sure that I got it right. Because I did mess up one spot right here where I checked the wrong box, but I scratched them out and checked the proper box. That's me. That's my bad. I got it right, though. We have 5 more games in this. Florida at Miami. Florida at Miami. Octavian, this is for you, sir. All right, let's go. Dime says Florida. Dime picks the away team, Florida Doo-Doo. Dime has picked Florida. Nickel has picked Miami. Nickel picks Miami. Penny picks Florida. Wow. Wow. Quarter picks Miami. So this is 2 and 2. This is crazy. This is very, very interesting and crazy. And I can't wait to see how this comes out. This will be split either way it goes. That'll be fun. Georgia State at Vanderbilt. The Commoders. I'm trying to do a good job of shaking these things up. You guys let me know if it's too loud. And maybe I need a plastic cup or a wooden cup. This cup may be too loud. It was just the first thing I grabbed. This is actually my first episode of doing this. So bear with me. And let me know in the comments. Comment and say, hey, that's too fucking loud. I hate it. Get a wooden cup or a plastic cup. Okay? We can make adjustments. Bam. All right. Georgia State versus Vandy. Quarter picks Vanderbilt at home. Quarter, you will get a check mark at Vanderbilt. Absolutely. Also, Penny picks the Commoders at home. And Dime disagrees with it and picks Georgia State on the road. And Nickel say Vanderbilt Commoders for the win. So that's another 3 versus 1. And that'll be interesting to see. Next game, Southeast Louisiana at LSU. Now, surely all 4 coins are going to pick LSU in this game. Because if not, then some of them are going to be wrong. So let's go. Let's see how it do. Let's see how it do. Wow. Nickel already picked Southeast Louisiana. Nickel says away team will win. The big boy, Quarter, agrees. Big boy says away win. Wow. And Penny says LSU. He's on heads. He picked LSU. Penny. And then also Dime. Dime picks LSU as well. So that's a 2 and 2 split right there. That's a 2 and 2 split right there. Sam Houston at Texas. Now we know Texas is not the team that they were hyped up to be in the preseason. And Sam Houston has done pretty well so far. And so this game will be strictly on chance. Coin versus coin. Sam Houston at Texas. Let's check it up. Take it. Boom. Uh-oh, got to reshake. One of the coins escaped. We're gonna have to do that one again. Let's start over with this one. All right, here we go. Sam Houston at Texas. Quarter picks Texas. Quarter pick Texas. Nickel also picks Texas. Nickel picks Texas. Penny picks Texas to win. These coins are pretty smart, y'all. And then Dime goes against the grain. Dime says, fuck you. I'm taking Sam Houston. So we're doing another 3 versus 1 pick. Last game. Michigan State at USC. Michigan State at USC. All right, here we go. Let's go. All right, the vote is in. The vote is in. Quarter picks Michigan State. Dime chooses USC. Penny also chooses USC. Heads. And lastly, Nickel picks Michigan State. So there's a 2-2 split right there. All right, folks. That is it. That is all. Let's review. Let us review. T-Tech at Utah. Quarter picks T-Tech. Everybody else picks Utah. UAB at Tennessee is a 2-2 split between the quarter and the penny taking Tennessee, and the dime and the nickel taking UAB. Oregon State at Oregon, same story. Dime and nickel takes the away team, and quarter and penny takes the home team. All right, and then when it comes to Kent State versus Florida State, or at Florida State, everybody picked Florida State except Dime, who went against the crowd and picked Kent State. Auburn versus Oklahoma. You have everybody picked Oklahoma except Dime. Dime seems to be a bit of a contrary little fella, doesn't he? Dime chose Auburn over Oklahoma. Now, Tulane at Ole Miss. It's a 2-2 split. Quarter and penny chooses Ole Miss. And Dime and nickel chose and voted for Tulane. That's interesting. Michigan at Nebraska. Everybody picks Nebraska except Penny, who voted for and chose Michigan. Purdue at Notre Dame. The only one that picked Notre Dame to win was the Dime. Temple at GT, same exact story. Everybody went Temple except Dime. Dime chose Georgia Tech. South Carolina at Mizzou was the first and only game where everybody voted for South Carolina. So all 4 coins are going to be right, or all 4 coins are going to be wrong. And then Illinois versus Indiana, with nickel being the outlier here. Nickel was the outlier on this game and chose Illinois, where everybody else chose the home team, aka Indiana. And that's the first sheet. Move on to this sheet with the last 5 games. Florida at Miami was a 2-2 split. Quarter and nickel agreed on Miami, while Dime and Penny agreed on Florida. Next game, Georgia State versus at Vandy. I'm sorry, folks. Georgia State versus Vandy at Vandy. Everybody chose Vanderbilt except for Nickel, who thinks that Georgia State will win over the Commodores. Southeast Louisiana was also a split decision. quarter and nickel chose the away team, and dime and penny chose the home team, LSU, to win that. And I kind of agree with dime and penny, but we'll see. Sam Houston at Texas. Everybody chose Texas except for, again, dime. Dime chose Sam Houston over Texas. Now, if Dime wins this, Dime is a serious dude because he's went against the other coins several times here. Last game, Michigan State at University of Southern Cal. 2-2 split decision. Quarter and nickel chooses Michigan State, while dime and penny chooses USC. And there you have it, folks. That's the whole coin versus coin list for week 4 on the 2025 season. And good luck to every coin. And I would like to make a disclaimer: do not bet on your games versus these coins, and definitely don't do anything that Millis Vanillis does, or listen to anything Millis Vanillis says or tells you, because you will 100% lose. So do not try this at home. Do not copy, mimic, imitate anything that goes on this live stream or any other live stream. Do not bet your kids' money. Don't be betting your child support. Don't bet your gas money. Don't sell your dog. Don't go pawning shit. Don't be pawning your lawnmowers to bet on Millis Vanillis picks, because you will lose your lawnmower, and anything else that goes to the pawn shop will be gone. Do not. This is strictly for fun and entertainment and enjoyment and pleasure, and nothing else. It's strictly just for shits and giggles. Anybody who takes it that way, don't be going up to your wife and, well, Millis Vanillis said, Millis Vanillis ain't said shit. The coin said it. I'm just a shaking motherfucker. That's all I am. So take that for what it's worth, and good luck to all the teams tomorrow, and good luck to all the coins. And what do you think is going to happen? Which coin do you think will win? Who is the better game picker amongst American coins? Tell me what you think in the chat. Have a good night.